We are returning to a player, ladies and gentlemen, who was forced to retire from the game at the very start of this season. Could you please welcome to the stage Johnny Sexton and Fergus McFadden, because they're going to pay tribute to Kevin McLaughlin.
Myself and Kev went to primary school together in KPS. Then we went to different secondary schools, so we missed out on a few years together, but then we reunited, and Leinster brought us back together, I suppose, in the academy. But he's been a great friend and teammate over the last however many years, 10 years, I suppose.
He's an incredible guy and an incredible professional, and it's hard to put into words how much the club will really miss him, to be honest.
Yeah. And Fergus, the impact that he has had on Leinster rugby, talk about that.
Well, how long do you have, I suppose? Kev is, as a teammate and as a guy around the place, the lads were talking about Isaac Boss and his energy and that he brings to the place. I suppose with Kev, his professionalism, his work rate, his commitment, his honesty, he's got values that the club has almost based themselves on through a successful period. And he's the reason why Leinster as a club have got to a point where our standards are extremely high every year and every day in training.
In terms of the success that we had, I think he was top of the ladder. I think when you're growing up, I think you always think you're going to be sort of, when you finish your career, you'll be judged on what you won. But I suppose as you get older, you realise, for me anyway, you want to be known as a guy that other guys want to play with, and I think he'd be the first guy I'd have in my team sheet every day of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin played 115 times for Leinster. He won 8 caps for Ireland during that time, a winner of 2 Heineken Cups, the Amlin Cup, and 3 Pro 12 titles. Welcome, Kevin McLaughlin.
For me, Leinster was a special place. I grew up watching the team, like some of the guys talked about earlier, but I had a kind of a rocky road getting on the team, and that made it all the more special when I started to play with the team more regularly. And I went through a lot of hard times over my career. I've been through a lot of tough times with some of the guys in this room, and it just made it so special when we fought through a lot of that work and basically turned this into a successful club that people are proud to play for. And I literally could not be prouder to say I played for Leinster for 10 years.
And Kevin, during the time, you've seen a lot change. We mentioned about the culture change, and you were at the forefront of that.
Yeah, I don't know if I was at the forefront. I was kind of, Michael Cheika was the one who pushed the culture change in a big way, and I was kind of a bit of a road bump for him. I was one of the guys that got screamed at a lot by him in the early days, but I think I learned a lot from it, and I think it maybe gave me a tough skin, and I was very lucky that Joe took a particular liking to my technique and tackling, and picked me, and it was I went through a golden era in Leinster, and I had amazing times, and as I said, I made some incredible friends, and I'm looking in the setup now, and I'm just so delighted that Leo's in charge, like the guy who, along with Michael Cheika and a couple other guys, turned the culture around. I couldn't think of a better person to be leading the charge, and now with Issa as captain, Johnny back in tow, it's I think we're in rude health.
Absolutely. Hear, hear. And I remember, Kevin, we were at a Bank of Ireland event, I don't know what it was, October of last year, something like that, and it wasn't long after you had forced to retire. And look, there was shock for everybody about this decision that you had to take.
Yeah, for me, I knew this season was probably my last. I didn't have a huge amount left in the tank. I've been struggling with injuries. I mean, the medical department of Leinster have done wonders to keep me playing as long as I did. But the manner of the retirement was very, very difficult to take. One of my best friends was coach, and I wanted to support him in any way I could. And have to turn around and tell him after one game that I was canning and hanging up the boots was extremely difficult, and there was a lot of guilt involved, but I'm delighted to see Leinster finish top of the league today.
That's a lovely way to finish. We said thank you to Isaac Boss, and it's ditto for you. Kevin McLaughlin, thank you so much.
Thank you.